You were looking down while feeling dizzy and contouring your tears. Your groom was standing beside you, who is a 60-year-old man, twice of your age. It is a forced marriage for you, and you were tugged so that you won't create any inconvenience in this marriage. But it was making you lose your country consciousness. The priest was saying something Bish can't clearly hear. Suddenly, you heard a loud gunshot and screams from everyone around you, but you don't have the courage or any energy to look back, so you didn't. Your uncle was trembling while her groom already ran away after seeing the man who caused this all chaos. He was none other than the dangerous Mafia Kimtaehyung, whom everyone feared. He walked towards your uncle with a smirk while your uncle fell on his knees while trembling in fear. Taehyung, do you really think that you can run away with my money? Maybe I could forgive you for it, but you try to hide the fact that you have my sweetheart and even sold her off to that rascal oldie. Taehyung sat while punching hardly on his face. Taehyung was too much angry, but he didn't want to waste his energy on him, so he took a deep breath and signaled his men to take your uncle away, and he will deal with him later. Taehyung was in the groom's crowd for now. He smiled while looking at you from behind. He walked near you and stood beside you. Then he pointed his gun at the priest. Taehyung, she will get married today, but with me. Do you have any problem with it? Priest begins reciting the sacred chant again while the Taehyung smirks. He doesn't have time to arrange any other priest for now, that's why he uses this method. He looked at you who were looking down without any senses and wrapped his hand around your waist, but suddenly he felt your whole body weight on himself and looked at you. He tapped your cheek and made you look at him while holding your chin immediately after you didn't respond. Your eyes were open, but he can clearly say by looking at you that you were under the effect of some medicines or drugs. His fist clenched and he closed his eyes to control his anger. He picked you up in his arms and was about to leap when Jimin came in front of him immediately and said, Jimin, no, 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 no. Mr. Kim, Taehyung, today you can't leave this wedding hall until you become completely married. Jimin said with a sternness on his face. Taehyung, not today, Jimin. Step aside and call my personal doctor now. Taehyung said with double sternness on his face, and Jimin understood the urgency of the situation immediately. You were looking at both of them without any senses, when suddenly Jimin looked at you and started checking your condition. He is better at it than Taehyung. After some time, Jimin says by looking at you with a smile, Jimin, you are alright, Ian. Don't worry. The medicine is only making you lose your senses for some time, nothing else. Then Jimin looked at them without any emotions and said in anger, Jimin, now you turn around and let the priest complete this marriage because if today this marriage won't happen, then my anger won't end up with just a punch. I will take my revenge with you for kidnapping me on my holiday when I was trying to spend some quality time with my wife. So does that I can find iron for you. Taehyung bite his inner cheek while trying to not laugh as he doesn't want Jimin to fidge off more, but still the fact that Jimin's own wife was involved in his kidnapping and he didn't even know about it was funny for Taehyung. Jimin want to spend time with his wife alone so much that he doesn't even listen to her. When she tells him that he should have Taehyung for now and he can spend some quality time some other day. Jimin wasn't ready to cancel his vacation because he got this vacation with very much difficulty after 1 year of hard work and overwork. That's why she had Taehyung, who is like a brother to her. Taehyung turned around and looked at the priest who was reciting sacred chants as fast as he could. He was still looking at Taehyung in the chase when he suddenly whispered in his ear, Taehyung, do you start? Say yes, I do. You blinked and murmured while looking at his smiling face. Ian, yes, I do. He smiled and he said it too. And the priest announced to you both husband and wife. He didn't wait for another second and left the wedding hall with you in his arms immediately while you lost your consciousness completely. Damn, so she will wake up after some time, right? He asked the doctor while looking at doctor gives you an antidote of your medicine and he says that you are completely fine. The doctor left while Sam kept looking at you. He touched your cheek with the back of his fingers and sighed. You were the daughter of a most trusted man and he fell for you a long time ago. And even your parents were happy to after finding out about it. But before any of them can tell you about it or ask you about your feeling, your parents died in an accident and you disappeared suddenly. This happened 2 weeks ago. Taehyung knew that you didn't die in that accident. That's why, after completing every ritual and completing your parents' funeral, he went on a mad rampage for you. His man wasn't able to find you, and Jimin was on leave with his wife. Jimin is the only person who can find anyone in this world, no matter where they are, without any difficulty, as he has very strong sources. When Taehyung wasn't able to find you after doing his best, the only option left for him was Jimin, and then this all happened. Your uncle was the one who kidnapped you after an accident for money, as that old man wanted you as his wife for revenge from your father. They are both old enemies. Tam already caught that old man also. Now, because of his order, his man was really finding the truth that was your parents that was actually an accident or not. Tam smiles by looking at your exhausted body. He don't know what happened with you in the last 1 week, but he was sure that once you opened up about it with him, he will give 10 times the pain of it to your uncle and that old man. Suddenly he remembered something and dialed Jimmy's number immediately. Well, as expected, Jimmy didn't pick up his calls no matter how many times he called him. Taehyung took out his other mobile phone from the drawer and called him with each one of them multiple times, and at last Jimmy picked up one of them. Jimin, what the hell is wrong with you, Kimtaehyung? Can't you let me enjoy my peaceful time with my wife still? What do you want now, huh? Should I come there and sing a lullaby to you now on your wedding night? Or did your interest change suddenly and you want to spend your wedding night with me, huh? Taehyung chuckled internally as he was expecting courage from Jimin. This time, still, Jimin is much more calmer than he should. Jimin cleared his thought and spoke. Taehyung, actually, I want advice from you. Given. If you want advice on how to become a good husband and spend some quality time with your wife peacefully, then congratulations, because I have got solutions for it. Just kill your best friend and never try to make another one. Simple. Chapter closed, case closed, TN. Tata, bye bye. Jimmy says while greeting his cheat. Damn, I'm serious, Jimin, so just listen to me. Jimin, then just spark anyway, na? Because I know if I cut the call and don't receive your call again, then you will once again kidnap me or do something that made me do your work. So just work whatever it is. Jimin say in anger while Taehyung chuckle. Taehyung, you are smart. Jimin, it's genetic. Tell me something I don't know. Jimin said while shrugging. Taehyung, the shortest war in history was between Britain and China G-War on August 27, 1896 and lasted only 38 minutes. Guess Zanzibar didn't stand well under pressure. Raymond, seriously? You are a serious mistake created by God Taehyung. Taehyung, better a mistake than a dull limited edition like you. Taehyung said while chuckling on his own. Raymond took a deep breath to control his anger and said, Jimin, I'm literally pissed off now, so if you even want an advice, then take my suggestion to not ask me one for now, because I will seriously give you the worst of it. Taehyung chuckled. Taehyung, well, I don't have anyone else to give me advice on this topic, and you are well experienced too. That's why. Just tell me what should I do after my wife wakes up with whom I'm married without even asking her consent for it. Taehyung said by looking at him in worry. Jimin, let's forget about your advice for a moment and you answer my question first. How am I experienced in it? My wife was in her senses when I married her. Taehyung cut him off in middle down, and your gun was on her head. Silence surrounded them both, and finally Jimmy Chaka, remembering his own marriage, but then a devilish plan came in his mind, and he smiled. Jimmy, okay, so here's my advice. After she woke up, look at her intensely and walk towards her and tell her only a word as huskily as you can. Sleep. Time I smiled immediately. Time what? Jimmy, yeah, this is how my and Leah marriage will start to end. As you can see, we are living our life peacefully, happily. Taehyung hesitated for some moment before asking, Taehyung, do I really have to say this? Jimmy, well, if you want to have a peaceful life with Ian, then yes. Jimmy says while smirking devilishly, and as he expected Taehyung fall for it. But then suddenly something came in Taehyung's mind. Taehyung, wait, what? Aren't you admitted in a hospital for a whole week after your wedding night? Jimmy scoffed, remembering that bitter memory of that day and especially of that night. Jimmy, yeah, that was because I was too much tired after my first night and ended up falling in the bathroom belly. Now happy, Jimmy said and cut the phone immediately as much as he knew Taehyung. He would attempt to order Taehyung would follow his advice and now he was only waiting for tomorrow. Taehyung looked at your sleeping body and smiled. He lay beside you and pulled you in a warm hug. His forehead crossed his eyes. Taehyung opened his eyes suddenly when he heard a loud noise. He sat up on his bed immediately. He checked on you to see if you were alright or not, but to his surprise, you weren't even on the bed. His eyes widened and he immediately stood up from his bed. He started looking for you immediately. You were munching chips in your mouth as fast as you can. You were really hungry and wanted to eat as much as you could without getting caught. When you suddenly heard a voice from your back which made you flinch badly. Taehyung, sweetheart. Taehyung called you as softly as he can while fainting, but you trembled badly and looked back being horrified. I didn't eat much. I swear. I only eat this packet. Seriously, you say while stammering while your tears fall down your eyes. Taehyung saw Temper seeing this sight of you. Suddenly you start coughing badly while trembling. Taehyung came near you immediately while picking up a glass full of water. He made you drink water slowly, then he said, Taehyung, sweetheart, it's me, Taehyung, your teddy bear. He said while looking at you with moist eyes. You kept looking at him with teary eyes when he slowly extended his hand closer to your face and started caressing your cheek just like he do every time. Just then you realize that it isn't a dream and he was really there. He was really there to protect you from everyone else this time. You broke down in tears and hugged him tightly immediately. And Daddy, why don't you come early? I called your name so many times, but you never came to save me. Why did you abandon me too? Why? You shivered crying in his arms. He too wrapped his hand around your body and said as softly as he could, Down, I'm sorry. It's my fault. I should have found you before, or I shouldn't have let you or your family leave alone that time too. I'm sorry. Taeyong said while his own tears kept falling. He still felt guilty for your parents' death and blamed himself for it, even though he wasn't the reason. He kept patting your back softly while hugging you as tightly as he could. After some time, you calmed down and broke the hug. You looked at him while snipping. Taeyong wiped your tear. Taeyong, are you hungry? I very much. I didn't even remember when I ate last time. Taeyong fixed glance, hearing your words while you kept looking at him with hopeful eyes. Taeyong knew that he can't show you his danger side for now, as you are already scared, so he smiled softly. He put his hand on your waist and in a swift motion, he made you sit on the kitchen counter. Just sit here. In the meantime, I will make something healthy and tasty for you. You nodded like an obedient kid. Taehyung looked here and there when his sight fell on a box containing fresh strawberry. He remembered that he told his man to bring it for you when you were unconscious, and it is one of your favorite things which you like to eat. He smiled and gave it to you. A big smile came on your face after seeing so many strawberries. You immediately took it from him and started eating them while time started cooking. He kept glancing at you again and again while cooking with a smile because you were looking too much adorable in his eyes for now. You were eating food in a clumsy way because you were too much hungry while Taehyung kept looking at you with a genuine smile. After you were done eating, you looked at Taehyung who were looking and cheered for something now. You tapped on the dining table and caught his attention. He looked at you and took a deep sigh before speaking. Now, sweetheart, actually I want to talk to you about your parents. They Taehyung was trying to his best, but still he can't tell you the truth about your parents yet because he was afraid that it will give you another trauma. I I know. They die. It all happened in front of my eyes, Teddy bear. How could I forget about it? Taehyung looked at you and his eyes immediately showed guilt and regret. Taehyung, I'm sure, cut him off immediately. And it wasn't your fault. You know I don't remember anything what happened that day, but I still remember my mom who was blessing us in her last moment and my dad said that it's good. That he didn't have to worry about me now and he can die peacefully as he is leaving me in the hands of a very trustful man who will never let any tear come into my eyes. He knew that you will find me and save me. He trusts you and loved you just like his son. Don't forget it and never blame yourself for the death what their other way. You say while looking at him, smiling in pain when his tears again start falling from his eyes after realizing how much your parents love and trust him. You stood up from your chair and went near him. You hugged him immediately and he too hugged your face while sitting and crying. Even though you didn't come out from your own trauma still, but you can't let them even guilt forever, so you keep aside your fear and tell him everything. After he calmed down, he stood up and looked at you. You were looking at him while smiling when suddenly your gaze fell on the chips packet on the table and you immediately took it. You start eating it, even though you were full, but you still wanna eat more. Sam Tucker seeing this when suddenly Jimin Smith came into his mind and he cleared his thought which caught your attention. You looked at him when suddenly he started looking at you intensely. He leaned closer to your face with a and said with a smile, "Taehyung, so now let's come to the main point." You tilt your head while looking at him, like asking what? Taehyung, strip. He said with a smile while trying to not tamper in front of you. He was feeling too much shy after saying it, but he wants to follow Timmy's advice soon. You blink a few times before finally realizing what he just told you. You go, but then you smiled immediately. You looked at him with puppy eyes and said, and then turned your back towards me. You say while looking down while his smugness everywhere. His heart started beating at an unbelievable speed and he got a 440-volt current. He gulped and turned around while cursing himself internally to really tell you that. He finally realized that he shouldn't have said this. Because now he can't fit the result of his action. He doesn't want to make things go so fast. And suddenly his phone rang and he immediately picked it up after seeing the name. It was Leah's call, who is Jimin's wife. Leah, I know you are smart, but still I thought to call you and warn you to never apply Jimin's advice in your situation. Believe me, the consequences will be very bad. Leah said immediately after Tim picked up the call. Jimin tell Leah about his advice to Taehyung while talking to her, which made Leah to call Taehyung immediately as she was scared that your wedding night will be ruined too somehow. Taehyung, what? Leah, no way. Just don't tell me you already did it. The silent gives her the reply. Leah, seriously? How could you vote for Spain with so dummy? You know Jimmy got this idea from a silly fanfiction and result of applying this idea was him admitting into the hospital the very next day. You know what? Congress to destroy your own wedding night and maybe the whole wedding. Mister, I have no sense. Leah said and cut the call. By the time cut, he immediately turned around but his eyes widened after not seeing you behind him. You were eating your chips while hiding in an umbrella. Suddenly the door of umbrella opened, making you look at the person who opened it. Yeah, as you expected, it was Teo. You covered your chest with your hand and murmured, I peered. You say while moving a little and turning your back towards him. Then you again start munching your chip. Sam Chakar seeing this, he picked you up in his arms suddenly, which made you look at him doubtfully. Sam, I'm not going to do anything, so stop looking at me like that. Sam said while looking at you, but you still kept looking at him doubtfully. He made you lay down on bed and took the chip packet from your hand. And I know karate and I have eaten enough food for energy too. Taeyong chuckled, clearly knowing that you don't know karate and you are very bad at fighting, running, hiding, etc. Taeyong lay beside you and looked at you lovingly while you kept looking at him doubtfully. Taeyong, you know we are husband and wife now, right? So actually I was afraid of eating you the first time after you wake up, so I took advice from an experienced man. Strip whatever he told me to say after you wake up. But then a very intelligent person called me and told me that I shouldn't have applied his advice in my personal life. But I am sorry. I really want to take things slow for it. I just didn't use my brain and do whatever he said. And I'm really guilty for it. So can you please forget about whatever happened just a few minutes ago and can we start anew? He said with a genuine smile while adoring you, which made you smile. Well, you know him for a long time now, and that's why you know that he is telling the truth, and your parents' last word what is true. So you moved closer to him and hugged him immediately. You two hugged you back with a smile, and you both fell asleep in each other's arms, and that's how your wedding life started, with some bad and some happy memories. The end.